I'm going to tell you a story of my own journey and my own evolution of abundance. And we're going to talk about it. I have a lot of things to say. So, back before I started my crystal shop, I had the idea that it would be fun to sell crystals. I didn't know if it was what I wanted to do, but I thought it would be fun because guess what? I was buying a whole lot of crystals anyway. I kept saying to myself over and over, I could buy crystals for a living. I love to buy crystals. I love to have them pass through my hands. I love to work with them. I love to learn about them. I love them so much. So I kept saying I could buy crystals for a living. Meanwhile, I was going deeper and deeper into debt, trying to figure out what I was going to do as a spiritual entrepreneur, how to manifest money, trying to figure out all these things while continuing to love and work with crystals. I stopped myself from buying wholesale crystals for the longest time. Because if you don't know, wholesale, how it works is you buy a big bulk amount of crystals at a lower price and then you sell them individually. You mark them up. That is how pretty much all retail shops, stores make money, is you make the investment, you buy it in bulk, and then you sell the individual pieces at a higher cost. Now that initial wholesale investment can feel like a lot when you're used to buying individual crystals. Buying like a $300 flat of crystals, buying like a whole bunch of the same crystal for hundreds of dollars, or whatever it is. There's all sorts of different kinds, price points. You can buy wholesale like tumbles, like you don't have to start with hundreds of dollars. But anyway, buying a whole bunch of the same crystal and thinking that it's possible that you're going to be able to move them and sell them and get them to the right people, that I didn't believe was possible for me. So I passed up on some incredible wholesale deals on crystals that I was excited about before I started my shop, that my soul was screaming at me to buy these wholesale crystals. I didn't have a shop yet, but I was like, oh my gosh, those are amazing. Imagine getting all those for that deal. Imagine like working with them. Imagine selling them. My soul was screaming at me to get these crystals, right? And I didn't, because it was an initial investment. It was almost like a commitment to having a shop, being a crystal dealer. What if I buy these wholesale crystals and they don't sell? What then? What am I gonna do? It was a lot of doubt there, okay? And I think that's a normal part of the process, but I just wanna share with you a whole lot of stuff. But I had to move through that doubt to start buying wholesale, to start then actually making money off my crystal business. I had to actually make the purchase not knowing if it would return on its investment, not knowing if anyone would buy it. I had to learn that, and I learned it over time. And I want to share this magical story. So one of the flats that I passed up early on, I think my shop, maybe I had just been doing personal releases. I hadn't really bought any flats yet. I was just selling crystals that I had already acquired for myself. That's how I kind of transitioned into a full-time crystal business, was just selling my own, because I had already had them, I had already invested in them, and I wasn't working with them anymore. So I was like, these are ready to move on. And just selling personal releases, I started making a few $100s a month. Like, it started picking up pretty quickly. When I was doing that jump that I took from a few $100s a month to sustainable thousands of dollars a month income that actually supported me and actually supported my family and actually felt really, really good. I wasn't working hard. I was doing what I loved, buying crystals. That jump was me allowing myself to invest in flats, invest in wholesale, invest in what I was excited about. instead of holding back. So part of having a crystal shop or any sort of business is making investments, allowing yourself to spend money and intending that that money spent will work out, intending it as an investment. And guess what? Investments pay off. You can have this belief that your investments always pay off. So anyways, back to the story. Early on in my crystal shop, when I was just doing personal releases, there was this flat of BG3s. BG3 citrine is a rare, absolutely incredible type of citrine crystal that comes from Brazil. It's pretty pricey. They are stunning crystals. I love the energy. I love everything about them. They're one of my favorites. I saw a flat of BG3 citrine and I did not get it. It was at an incredible price. I could have afforded it at the time. I would have been stretching it a little bit, but I could have gone for it. And I passed up on this flat of BG3. And then, I don't know, a month or two, a few months went by and I started regularly buying wholesale. And in the back of my mind, I was like, why did I pass up on that flat? That would have been a great investment. That would have been so fun. Why would I pass up on like a crystal that I love so much for my shop? I wasn't ready at the time. I hadn't actually decided my investments pay off. I hadn't actually decided I'm doing this. I'm going for it. It doesn't matter if I don't make that return. This is what is lighting me up and I'm going to trust in it. I wasn't in that space yet, so I didn't spend the money on the wholesale BG3. So that was at the beginning of my crystal shop. Yesterday, I went to a crystal store to pick around, see if I could find any little things for my shop. I was going mostly to browse and see if there's anything that called for my shop. A lot of crystal shops too, if you have a business, if you talk to the owner, you can ask them if they'll do wholesale for you, and a lot of them will. If you have your own crystal shop and you're gonna buy in bulk. So that's a tip. But anyways, I went to this crystal shop and the owner of the shop literally whips out a flat of BG3 citrine, and I have not seen this available wholesale since I originally saw it like a year ago or whenever, when I first passed up that flat of BG3. He whips out a flat in front of me, one of these crystals that I'm so annoyed that I passed up on the whole wholesale amount. He whips out the flat and he's like, I'll do you a deal if you want the whole flat. And I was like, really? So I prayed about it and I felt really excited about it. And it was the most I have ever spent on wholesale at this point in my career, in my crystal shop business. It's the most I've ever spent in one go on wholesale on these beautiful special citrines that I love so much. Most I've ever spent. But it felt like the universe was offering this to me again. It said, here you go. Are you going to do it? Are you going to trust in it? Are you going to go for it? And the difference in me now to then, it was my decision. It wasn't God's decision or the universe's decision, even though we are one. It wasn't forced upon me, but it was up to me to get my energy behind this large amount of spending money on wholesale and deciding to go for it. It was up to me then, and it was up to me now. And the difference between then and now is I have my energy behind myself and my business, and I trust in my investments to be returned. I trust in myself to make money. I trust in these things to work out. I trust in my excitement and my joy. And when he pulled those BG3s out, I was like, whoa, this is a full circle moment. I felt like the universe was like, hey, are you ready to up level? Because I was scared to spend the money on BG3s then. And now it was even more money on BG3s. And I was like, I'm not scared. I'm going for it. I'm excited about this. And so the difference is not because I have more money now. I probably, like, the BG3 lot originally that I saw that I was going to invest in was less at the time. They've gone up in value, so it's more at the time. It's not because I have more money now. It's because my energy is fully behind myself and my trust in life and my ability to make things work and my knowing that my excitement and my investments are on purpose. That is the difference. And it really felt like this whole, just like, all right, we're going into the next level. It was so magical. So if you're thinking of selling crystals, if you're thinking of starting your own business, you have to be the one, even when you're scared, to make that initial investment, to back yourself up, to make those decisions. Because once again, it was up to me at the start. It was up to me with that initial, sorry, there's a car coming by. Come on, Cora. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Okay. It was up to me to make that initial investment, and I decided not to. And once again, the BG3s came back around, and once again, it was up to me to decide to do it or not. And so this is inspired action. It's taking action when you're unsure. It's taking action when you're scared, but you're excited. It's taking action and going for it, regardless of what the outcome is, because you know it's the right decision in your heart and your soul. And there's a whole lot of societal programming that you have to get through to get to this space where it's a whole lot easier. But to get through it, you just got to do it. You just got to make that initial investment. And I know if I had made, I don't know what would have happened if I had made that decision, but knowing how energy works now, my guess is that if I had gone for that initial BG3 and trusted in myself and invested in it and just went for it, followed my excitement initially instead of stopping myself and being like, I need to save money, I don't know if it'll work, my crystal business would have grown a lot faster. I would have been in this energetically abundant space to be a free flowing channel for crystals and money and connections and all of these things. But I was the one that decided to hold back. So the decision's in your hands, the power is in your hands, but it's up to you to stretch yourself. It's up to you to go after what you want. It's up to you to trust yourself and your decisions. I'm back home now. I'm gonna go, but that's my story for the day. You get to trust your excitement. You get to buy crystals for a living if that's what you want to do, or whatever else. Okay, bye.